Well, at my last board meeting, I reported that myself, the mayor, the village manager, and other representatives of the village met with the president of Chuck E. Cheese on issues that we felt were important for a safe community and a safe business environment. The president of Chuck E. Cheese flew in to Oak Lawn on a Saturday morning meeting, 10 a.m. He brought his representatives with him when we had a 2-hour meeting and discussion. It was agreed that Chuck E. Cheese, at their expense, would hire one of the best security companies in the United States to do an additional report on ways we can secure that business and make it a safe environment for the families that use that. I use that on occasions myself. It's a clean environment. Many, many people are there. They're having fun with their family. But despite the work that I've done as the 4th District trustee with this issue, these incidents continue. Now, at that meeting with the president, it was agreed that by this meeting, I would get a recommendation from their security firm on ways in which additional security measures can occur in that store. And about 3 o'clock today, I got a rather lengthy report. I have not had time to totally digest this and see what the recommendations are and have discussions with my fellow trustees, the chief of police, on these recommendations. I will be doing that in next week, and I will provide copies for all the trustees for your input on this issue. Chuck E. Cheese was to be at our first board meeting in October, which is October 11th, to make a presentation to our community and to this board on ways they recommend to provide additional security in their business before any action's taken. They've asked me, and they asked the board and the mayor, if they could have an additional 2 weeks, as the 11th is a major religious holiday within a certain religion. And I have no problems with that, Mayor. If we can reschedule them for the October 25th meeting,
I think that's reasonable, Terry. Thank you.
That's all I have, Mayor.
We all, I certainly, saw subsequently to that report, the mayor on Channel 5 yesterday, and suggesting that it might be time to address the business license of Chuck E. Cheese. And while you're talking about police reports, and one of the things that I do want to point out is that in reading the newspaper accounts of the 911 calls from Chuck E. Cheese, I just want to point out for the record that when I see that there were over 40 last year, 40 911 calls, and over 40 already this year, I don't have those reports. So now I did, again, the mayor, I saw her on the news, and I have to agree with the mayor on correctly identifying what's at stake at Chuck E. Cheese, namely the safety of the children and their families. I also believe that the management of the restaurant has tried very hard to be a responsible neighbor. But I believe that we've reached the stage after 4 years of what continues to be a deteriorating situation where we need to be more proactive about protecting patrons and residents and the reputation of Oak Lawn as a place that offers a safe environment for families to shop and to be entertained. I agree with the mayor regarding her identification of the issue, but I am concerned about the lack of leadership in taking the necessary action to resolve it. 4 years of 911 calls is enough.
Mayor, may I respond to that?
Let him continue,
okay.
finish his report, then we'll have comments.
Well, the only thing that I
Just
would
you.
add to that is that it's time to serve them notice that we are seeking to revoke their business license for cause.
That completes your report?
It does.
Trustee Warder?
If I can just respond to that. After being elected 3 years ago, I was well aware of problems at Chuck E. Cheese. They stem back to the days I was a police officer and chief of patrol. One of my first missions after being elected was to have a meeting with Chuck E. Cheese management. I had the district manager, their chief of security there, and we went over many ideas on how to make that environment safe for the children that are there. And they were a responsible company. They removed all the free apparatus that was in that store. They cleared sight lines, okay, so that people in that store can be viewed throughout the entire place. They lowered their occupancy from 611 to 482. And we moved on with a second meeting in which we, after another incident, we agreed to hire security. Chuck E. Cheese pays 2 off-duty police officers, Oak Lawn police officers, at their expense, and on the weekends, 3 officers in that store. Chemco has agreed to put a police officer at their expense and the rental of a car into that parking lot. So, Bob, I take issue with the fact that we have not been addressing this issue. It's been on my agenda. This is my 4th meeting with Chuck E. Cheese over these issues. And we are moving forward, and we are not turning a blind eye to this issue. This is a responsible company. They have made every attempt to address these issues. And while I agree the ultimate authority of this board is to revoke that license, it only is due process, okay, that we give them every opportunity to address our concerns. And if those concerns are not addressed, then I stand with you and the mayor on discussions on revoking that license.
Thank you.
That's all.
Any other comments, Trustee Straight?
The only thing,
Go ahead.
the only thing that I would just add is that I did say that they've tried, that Chuck E. Cheese's management has tried a number of things, as you pointed out, including providing off-duty Oak Lawn officers, reducing the amount of seating, providing additional security cameras. And the one thing that I would ask you, Trustee, is have we seen a noticeable decline in the violent incidents that occur at that establishment?
We have seen a decline in incidents at that establishment. It only takes one incident that quickly gets out of control to lead to a violent confrontation. I can go back to 2000. That business has been there since 1984. And I think that from its earliest days, we've had these kind of incidents. My personal experience is that most of these incidents stem from domestic situations that quickly get out of hand. And usually they're families with large groups, and it's difficult to control. We have made every attempt to give them a fair shot at providing a safe environment and run a successful business in Oak Lawn. But if it's their job, not my job, not this police chief's job, to provide security in that store and make recommendations to them on how to provide a safe environment for their customers, which encompass children. That's my primary concern. Every business in Oak Lawn occasionally gets a response from the police departments, the nature of human beings. We have other businesses that have a number of incidents and police responses in this town. But this is my chief concern because I bring my grandchildren there and I see many children there. We cannot tolerate this. They're going to need to solve this problem, or we will take action.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing the report that was, that Terry referenced, and the recommendations
Yeah.
in the report.
I have a copy here. I will have one in your mailboxes in the next day or two.
In my quick scan of that, the analysis of the data shows that implementing these things did have a reduction. Trustee Desmond.
Yeah, just one quick question. A couple of years back, there was a shooting, right, outside Chuck E. Cheese's. There was gangbangers having a gunfight.
Yes.
When was that?
I think that was 2012. Yeah.
Can we, when you get these reports, can you bring up that report, see what recommendations were made at the board level.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe that they didn't even lose their liquor license over that.
No, and when in 2013, I think the next incidents, or early 2014, one of those, we had discussion about the liquor license, and they responsibly, voluntarily relinquished their liquor license.
Madam Mayor, not only did they voluntarily remove their liquor license under the leadership of Trustee Voider and yourself, they made the rest of those recommendations come true, reducing the amount of people in there, having the extra police officers in there. And I don't think that there's a trustee sitting here that has not heard from somebody in their district stating that the overall and overwhelming concern of residents in the village of Oak Lawn is what we're going to do to address Chuck E. Cheese. And I think that under due process and under the leadership of our village manager, our police chief, our trustee, I believe that we have a solution that's coming forth, and I think we move on.
Yeah, and as I stated in my letter, the next step is really an action of the entire board at this point. As liquor commissioner, I have blown through everything I could do, and it's board action. So I would ask this board to responsibly look at the data that's presented by Trustee Vorder in this report. If you have specific incidents you'd like more data on, Chief will accommodate us, but it's a serious matter, and it's, yes.
No, I mean, are we leaving ourselves open to any type of, liability lawsuits? I mean, we didn't act when people were shot outside Chuck E. Cheese's. Now, there's been a fight. I guess some guy hit his girlfriend.
It was a brawl.
A brawl.
Involved,
I mean, are they going to say,
aggression.
you did nothing that time?
As well.
Why, why are you going to act so aggressively?
I don't believe there's any liability for the village, Tim. Trustee
Mayor,
Trustee
I can
Woodard.
point that shooting incident occurred before the majority of this board was seated here. It was this board that began to take action over there.
Correct.
I understand that. I just want to make sure that.
Let's move on to District 2.